Hi, it's Stephen here from Sign of an Ocean Wave, and this is day 21 of the January daily draws. So let's see what message we get today, and I'll be taking the first card from the Linestrider Tarot, followed by an oracle card from the Enchanted Map Oracle. So let's use our first card and get the reading underway. Okay, here we go. We have the Hermit. Love this Hermit. You see the bear, it always reminds me that in winter, the bears hibernate, they have their hermit moment, they go in excuse me, I'm going to take a bit of a sip. Right. Yes, bears go into a cave or such like, and they hibernate for the winter. Good idea, I say. I could quite, if possible, love to do that. But yes, they draw aside for a time. They sort of wait out the harshness of winter, and then they re-emerge in the spring. They re-emerge when it's time to get back out there and do what bears do. And so it's just for a certain period of time, for a certain purpose. And what I call hermit moments are just that. They are for a certain time and for a certain purpose. We're not to remain there forever and a day. We're there to draw aside, physically draw aside from the world if possible, go by ourselves, go for a walk, go and sit by ourselves, reflect, connect inwardly, withdraw into ourselves a little bit for a time. But to do that permanently is not healthy. We can't be within ourselves all the time. But for a moment, for a certain period of time, for a certain purpose, it's good to pull aside from the busyness, the chaos, the stress, the noise of everyday life, and to listen to us. We were talking about, when we had the High Priestess yesterday, we were talking about listening to that inner voice, that intuitive voice. And sometimes to hear that, we have to have these hermit moments, because otherwise the general everyday noise of life can sort of, crowd it out. We can't hear it for the noise. And so we need that stillness, we need that bit of peace, we need to draw aside from that so that we can get closer to that voice, so we get the guidance that we need. And that's where, the lamp's here, that's where the light, the enlightenment. And I love there's a skull here as well. And it could be that, to do that, we need to let go of something. And, like the just to let go, release something. And it may be the need to be always doing, always being out there, and feeling that we can't have a moment to ourselves, that we feel guilty if we have a moment to ourselves. We need to get rid of that. That could be, to me, that's what we need to release here with the Hermit, is that it's good for us to have those hermit moments. And as I say, they're not meant to be permanent. They're for a certain time, for a certain purpose. And when we do that, we can reconnect with ourselves. We get fresh insight. And then when we go back out there, we feel ready to face whatever it is we need to face. The bear sometimes has to get his bearings. No pun intended, but I've just realized what I said there. And sometimes when we come out of an hermit moment, we may have to get our bearings, We may not be able to sort of dash straight back into things. We need to ease ourselves back in. But once we've done that, the insight, the enlightenment, the reconnection that we've made in that hermit moment will help us to move forward on our life journey with everyday things, with the things we need to accomplish, perhaps with fresh eyes, fresh perspective, a renewed sense of confidence and awareness of who we are and our abilities that maybe we've lost sight of, and that we can do this. So that's why these moments where we can just draw aside for a moment and reconnect with ourselves and listen to that intuitive inner voice is so important. And as I say, we do this for a certain time, for a certain purpose, not permanently. This is to equip us to get back out there and do the things we need to do. It's not to hide away from life permanently, as much as it might be tempted sometimes to do so. Okay, so let's see which oracle card we get to go with that. And these days it can be very tempting to want to hide away and not come out. Stay in the cave, so to speak. Okay, here we go. And we'll go for that one. Cleaning house. I love this. The bear tree there, with the cat sat in the window looking out of the bear tree. The sweeping brush here, the broom, the Fool represented here. Maybe some kind of new beginning, some new venture. Pulling out the drawers, cleaning them out. The tree's already released his leaves, so it's a clue it's either autumn or winter by the looks of that. Look at the sky. And that could be part of what the skull here represents, the clearing away of the things that don't serve us anymore, the things that are not helpful to us, like the view that we can't possibly, the feeling guilty by setting aside that hermit time for ourselves that's so important. We shouldn't feel that way. We should sweep that aside, literally. And we should also see where we need to, before we venture back out again, what we need to perhaps sweep away to make room for the new things we're going to accomplish. So maybe that's what we need to consider in our hermit moment too, to how we can sweep and empty some unnecessary things out to make room for the new things that we're going to bring into our lives. So let's take the time to have those hermit moments for a certain time, for a certain purpose. I will keep repeating that because I feel it's important, and see what we can do to clear the way for what comes next in our lives. And I think that's an important thing for us to do. And that is the message of the cards today. Okay, so that's today's message. I'll be back tomorrow with day 22. Until then, thank you for listening. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you all again very soon. Okay, bye-bye.